What if I told you there's a man who literally saw the future? A man whose mind was so powerful it changed the world, but whose face you've probably never seen? A man whose story ends in an unsolved mystery? Welcome to my channel. Today we uncover the enigma that is Alan Turing. Now let me ask you something. What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word genius? A mad scientist with wild hair and crazy goggles, right? Wrong. Genius comes in many forms, and the quietest ones are often the most powerful. Meet Alan Turing, a name you may not know, but a face you'll soon recognize. Why? Because without this man, we might not have the technology we take for granted today. But more on that later. Let's start at the beginning. Picture this. England, 1930s. The threat of war looms and secrets are kept safe in locked machines called Enigma. It was a war of wits, a battle of minds, and everyone was stumped. How do you crack an uncrackable code? Enter Alan Turing. Now he wasn't a spy or a soldier. He was a mathematician, a thinker, a man who saw patterns where others saw chaos. While governments scrambled, Alan retreated to a world of his own, a world of numbers, logic, and pure imagination. Here he built Bombi, a machine to unlock Enigma's secrets. Some thought he was crazy. Building a machine to fight a machine? But Alan pressed on. Wires, rotors, and electric currents became his language. And then it happened. The first message decoded, then another and another. Like breaking a seal, the floodgates opened and Alan's invention helped unravel every Enigma message. You might be wondering, why don't we know his name? Why did the world let him fade into shadows? Well, after the war, Alan's work was classified. His face was erased from photos, his name removed from reports. It was the darkest chapter of his life, but it wouldn't be the last. In the 1950s, the Cold War chilled the world, and suspicion fell on Alan. You see, he was different, not just because he solved Enigma, but because he lived a life that challenged the norms. He had a partner, a love that history wouldn't accept. And this difference, this very human side of Alan, was used against him. Accused, prosecuted, and punished, he retreated further, seeking solace in his work, in building computers that could think. Ironically, he was helping create the tools that would change the world, all while his own story was being rewritten, erased from the narrative of those very machines he helped build. Then in 1954, tragedy struck. Alan was found dead at 49, his life seemingly over before his time. The official story, a cyanide-laced apple, a tragic accident. But whispers linger about a second story, a deliberate end to a brilliant mind that the world couldn't handle. Think about that for a moment. A man whose ideas sparked the digital revolution, who turned science fiction into reality, died under a cloud of mystery. So here's the question I leave you with. Was Alan Turing a victim of his time, a martyr of progress, or was there more to his story, more to his death? We'll never know for sure because in the end, Alan's story was sealed in silence. His face removed from the history books, his name erased from the headlines. But here's the thing, his work remained. The machines he built, the codes he cracked, they all point to one undeniable truth. Alan Turing was a genius, a man who dared to dream of a digital world before the world was ready for it. So next time you look at your phone, remember the man who made it possible. Alan Turing, the forgotten man who shaped the world we live in. Do you know any obscure historical figures whose stories deserve to be told? Share your thoughts below. And hey, if you haven't already, hit subscribe for more fascinating tales. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious.